We're going up to producer and saying, Hayden Christensen, he trained for 12 weeks and I'm only training for 6 weeks. What's going on here?
Quella pace è una menzogna.
I'm a simple Star Wars fan. When I see a lightsaber, I go crazy. And here we have so many, finally. How cool was it?
Yeah, it was awesome. And I feel the same way when our first teaser trailer, there's like one shot at the end with like 9 lightsabers, and I felt the exact same way. I was like, ah!
And fight choreography is amazing. I think one of the best since the movies. So how did you work on that?
A lot. Well, we had training for about 6 weeks ahead of production. Which I actually thought was not nearly enough time. I remember going up to a producer and saying, Hayden Christensen, he trained for 12 weeks and I'm only training for 6 weeks. What's going on here? And she was like, relax, you're a pain in the ass. Just kidding. Yeah, we filmed for 9 months total, and throughout that time, we were training the whole time as well.
You play both Osha and May, and they are on the opposite side of the Force. Did you have some Gollum moment in which they talk to each other?
So funny. Well, I don't want to spoil too much, but it was very fascinating to play against myself. And I feel like I learned a lot about myself that way. And it was hard to emotionally track sometimes. You know, in a scene, you utilize the natural chemistry that you have with your scene partner in order to decide what decisions to make. You know, you hopefully are just living in the truth of that moment. But I was really lucky to have an amazing acting double. Her name is Shanice Archer, and she held it down for me in all of my scenes, and we really built these characters together.
When you look at yourself in the mirror now, what do you see?
I don't think that has changed at all. I think that maintains the same. I don't know. I tend to play characters that are quite different from me. And maybe that's because it's maybe harder to play yourself than it is to play someone else. But also it's just a fun challenge for me, and it allows me to, you know, not get too lost in the characters I play.
May's mother says that this is not about good or bad, it's about power and how to use it. In your opinion, what is real power?
Wow. I think real power is surrendering to the present moment and not having an attachment to the future and the result, and not having an attachment to the ego.
This show, I think, is really brave because it asks the question, are the Jedi really the good ones? So how does it feel to be in a show that really is so brave? Because we know that Jedi is the good side, but maybe not. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's interesting because we get asked that quite often, but when I think about the narrative that George Lucas built, it's already one that challenges in a lot of ways what the Jedi are. You know, I think one of George's main questions was what happens when a system of government gets too comfortable. Then it stops being able to recognize danger, and it stops being able to recognize corruption. And Anakin Skywalker's whole story is about how he, unfortunately, is susceptible to corruption when he operates from a place of fear. And so that is really just what our story is about, too.
Thank you so much. You're great in the show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.